What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fictional's YouTube channel. This is Southaven, Mississippi Top 8. This is the last day of the Tennessee Marathon. Now, some people might be confused, be like, this is Mississippi, but it's part of the Tennessee Marathon. But Southaven's literally like 2 steps away from Memphis, so that's why it's still part of the Tennessee Marathon. It's still hosted by Clay Mitchell. So on the left we have Blake Pennington. He is from Birmingham, Alabama. And on the right we have Kenton Anderson, a native Memphis, Tennessee player. And so we see on the left that Blake is playing a Crobat Wobbuffet deck. And Kenton has some reason switched over from Gengar and is now playing Yveltal. He has switched to the dark side. What is And as you see, Kenton is playing Dusknoir in his Yveltal deck list. So he's also playing Shadow Circle. So maybe it's like a Hard Charm Shadow Circle Dusknoir deck, maybe because like the Yveltals aren't doing a lot of damage nowadays, and so you manipulate that damage with Dusknoir. Also, for those who don't know, my name is Josh Squeaky Marking, and I'm one of the guys who runs the YouTube channel. I forgot to say that. But we see Kenton do a Juniper, attach a DC to Yveltal, bench a baby Yveltal, and pass. Can't attack really turn 1 with Yveltal EX. He needs a dark and a colorless attack, and you can't attack turn 1 either way. But on the Blake's turn, we see a Professor Letter. Professor Letter, search your deck for 2 energy cards, put them in your hand. So I imagine he gets 2 Psychic, unless he's going to surprise me and grab 2 energies I don't know about he plays, but I'm pretty sure he just plays all Psychic energies. I did play him early in the day, so I kind of know what his deck plays. So I see him just get 1 Psychic energy. Maybe he has like a Juniper in his hand or something, and he doesn't want to get multiple Psychics to discard. Or maybe he has an end or something. Yeah, so just an end, so that's why he did want to grab 2 Psychics. No reason to really grab 2 Psychics if you're just going to end 1 away. So Blake needs to get kind of multiple Zubats down. And, so basically, the Zubats in there for the Gobats and Gobats and Crobats. If you saw my other video, my Landorus Crobat video, you kind of saw what Gobat and Zubat, Crobat and Gobat do. But Gobat, when you evolve, put 2 damage counters on any one of the Pokemon in play, and Crobat puts 3 damage counters when you evolve anywhere in play. So it's a total of 50. You kind of just put anywhere. And I think Blake plays Super Scoop Up to manipulate the Crobat and Zubats. But here we just see a... Oh, what is that attack called? I can't remember what the attack does, but it does 10 plus 10 for each damage counter on the active Pokemon. So right now, Yveltal doesn't have any damage on it, so it only did 10 damage. And on to Kenton's turn, we saw Ken drop a Shadow Circle to get rid of Blake's Dimension Valley, or is it Dimension Valley? Or Diasma Valley? Oh man, I can't remember what the name of the valley is called. It's something valley, and it has where you make what psychic Pokemon play 1 less colorless attack to retreat, or to attack, to retreat. 1 less colorless energy to attack. So Wobbuffet usually needs a psychic and a colorless, but there just needed a psychic to actually attack. And there we see Kent Ultra Ball with DC and an N, maybe? Was that right? Kent did that. He is down multiple N's already. But Kent might play Lysand or something. There we see a Juniper discarding the Rare Candy, and I couldn't see what the card was. And he did play a Bike, but he was digging for a Dark Energy really bad. There we see Hard Charm 2. So right now that Yveltal's doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 100 damage right now. It's not going to knock out this Wobbuffet, which is pretty nice for Blake. So he gets another turn to attack with the Wobbuffet. The only problem with this Hard Charm is it's going to make it where Blake can't really hurt this Yveltal unless Blake drops more Crobats and Zubats down. But here we're just an Evolve for 100, and on Blake's turn, let's see if he can get multiple Zubats down this turn or not. Can't kind of really see either one of the Kittens or Blake's hand this turn or this game, so it's going to be kind of weird to try to guess what there's in their hands. Blake is thinking really hard right now. So there's a Gobat, put 2 damage on the Yveltal. It does get through the Hard Charm since it places damage counters, which is really nice. There we see Jarrett walking around in the background. Jarrett was our head judge of the day while Clay was the TO. So I know Jared was excited about being the head judge. And here we see Blake using Fan Club. Search your deck for 2 Pokemon, or 2 basic Pokemon, and put in your hand, not 2 Pokemon. So I imagine he's going to get double Zubats this turn. Ken's like, you have to show me them. There we go. Oh, so Zubat and Wobbuffet. So Blake knows that Wobbuffet's going to die next turn, so he might as well get another one to play while he can. Now, if Blake were to have like a Super Scoop and flip heads, that'd be really nice here to kind of get rid of Kenton's damage that he did last turn. If not, he's going to have to... Oh, there he goes, another... I want to say it's a Dimension Valley. There we see a Megaphone, which discards all tools on Kenton's side of the field. And here we see... can't remember Wobbuffet's attack right now, but it's 60. How was it 60? Oh, 70. I forgot. I didn't see the one damage count. One more thing. Okay, the 70 makes more sense now. Sorry about that. I kind of caught it while I was thinking. I'm going to look up what the Wobbuffet's attack is right now. Or what's it called? It is bugging me right now. Seriously, you can't just kind of do a Y Cyclone. Must not have any supporters. And just Y Cyclone to knock out the Wobbuffet. Now on the Blake's turn, he needs to get another Psychic Energy to start attacking the Wobbuffet on the bench. There we see a Crobat, putting the 20 damage on the Yveltal EX. Now Blake has like a Psychic and a Muscle Band. He actually knock out this that's where. So we just see a pass from Blake. Blake could use Crobat's. Okay, sorry, earlier Blake needed a Muscle Band and a Psychic Energy to knock out the Yveltal. But the only thing is, Blake didn't. He didn't attack with a Crobat. I guess he just didn't want to get knocked out. I guess it kind of makes sense. Blake licensed up the Dark Rider trying to stall time, but Ken did have the switch to get rid of the Lysander play. So here we just see an Eva Ball doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 80 total. Psychic Assault is Wobbuffet's attack name. Here we go, so Psychic Assault. Now for Blake's last turn, you saw that he didn't really have any supporter besides Lysander, so he's kind of in a bad position right now. So Blake must have 2 poopy cards that he doesn't really need. So that stadium is a Dimension Valley too. There we see Blake either top deck a Computer Search. I imagine he top deck it. There we see it in. So Computer Search. You discard 2 cards from your hand and search deck for any 1 card and play it. Kind of curious why he didn't grab a Juniper. We saw that Kenton didn't really have a supporter either. He didn't play one last turn, so now he's kind of getting Kenton a new card in hand. I know Kenton did draw a prize off the Wobbuffet, but drawing 7 cards instead of 6 might have been a little bit better. Maybe he just had a good gut feeling that Kenton had a good card. Maybe he saw Kenton smiling or something, but if I know Kenton, he wasn't smiling. That's not the Kenton I know. Alright, so let's see. Does Blake get a Crobat down this turn? That is a really good question. There we see another Zubat. There we see a Crobat. Where does he want to put the 30 damage at is the question. So we see him putting the active. And now Crobat's attack's called Skill Dive. And you can put 30 damage counters anywhere. I think it only puts 10 on the active though. But here we just see it put on the bench Yveltal EX, bringing it up to 120. If Blake can evolve to Crobat, put 30 on the bench Yveltal, and then you skill dive again, he actually knock out the bench Yveltal next turn, which would be pretty nice. So as he can start loading up Darkrai, I guess Ken realizes that, hey, Darkrai has psychic resistance, so why do I not Why don't I start attacking with him? Never see a bike, getting him 4 cards. Kitten still doesn't have a supporter right now, from what it seems. He actually just flashed something. Pokemon Scintillating. Pokemon Scintillating heals 6 damage and remove all status conditions. Here, the good thing about this is Kitten's going to be able to start setting up knockouts with Darkrai. So Darkrai has an attack called Night Spirit. You put 90 and 30 to a bench. So he's putting 30 on that Zubat, saying, hey Blade, if you don't evolve the Zubat, it's going to get knocked out next turn. So the pressure is on that Zubat on the bench. Maybe Blake has doesn't matter either way. He does get to go back down to 20. I was going to say maybe he has a scoop up, or a super scoop up, trying to heal the damage off it or something. But we see an Ultra Ball discarding an End and a Psychic Energy. Maybe Blake has a Juniper in his hand. I would assume so. Imagine Blake when he gets like a Wobbuffet, maybe a Golbat. Kitten has already killed 2 Wobbuffets now here. There we see a Wobbuffet. Now Wobbuffet also has the ability, I'll look it up right now. I mean, I have it right in front of me. Maybe I thought I did. Let's see. It's called Barricade? I never knew the name of it. But it makes it where only Pokemon with psychic abilities have abilities in play once it's active. So once this Wobbuffet is active, Kitten's Dark Cloak from Darkrai is not in play anymore, so it doesn't get Pokemon free retreat anymore. So there we see Crobat putting 30 on this Yveltal, bringing it up to 50. Now to Blake get a Psychic Energy. Here we see Super Scoop Up. That's a heads, maybe. It looks like a heads. Send in the Golbat. Of course, you drop the Zubat back down. Once again, did Blake get a Psychic Energy to actually attack this turn? Is the question. If not, he can just always attack with the Crobat. Crobat does have a colorless energy attack, so that's kind of how you can attack with it. But it does seem like he got Psychic Energy. Maybe he's debating, do I attack with it or not? It will do 40 damage, bringing the Darkrai up to 90. And if next turn of Blake, he does have the Golbat in his hands and Crobat, so he can set up a knockout next turn too with a Psychic Assault. So here we see Psychic Assault doing 40, bringing it up to 90 total. So into Ken's turn, Ken's probably doing the math right now with the Crobat and Golbat. He knows that Blake has both of them in hand since he just super scooped it up. Question is, does Kent have an end to try to block it? Here we see a Juniper, so no end from Kenton. But Kent did have the end. Interesting. Maybe Kenton's wanting different cards in his hand. Maybe he plays another switch or something. Oh, see, I see an energy switch in his hand, but that's not going to help him at all. Shadow Circle is above the Dimension Valley, which is always nice. But I'm 99% sure Blake does play 4 of those. I think he's already played 3 down, though. I could be wrong. We'll see what happens. Once again, we see Jarrett watching of the game very carefully. So see 90 and putting 30 on the Golbat. Ken saying, I don't care if you knock out my Darkrai next turn. Here we see an Ultra Ball. Didn't see the 2 cards he discarded. But now Blake is also forced to get another Psychic Energy and or a Dimension Valley. So we'll see what happens here. Like I said, we know he has the, I think he has a Crobat in hand, or did he use it to evolve the bench one? I don't know, can't remember right now. I know for sure he has a, well, maybe he doesn't have the Golbat either. Maybe he's, I didn't keep up with what Blake used with the Super Scoop. But we'll find out in a second what he has. So there's the Crobat putting 30 on the bench, Yveltal X. Here comes the Golbat down. What does Blake put this 20 at? On the active. So So right now, oh, so that is a knockout. Okay, so you only need to go back because this is at 111. Psychic Assault will do 100 with resistance, so we'll knock out this Dark Ice. So that's pretty nice. So Blake knows what he's done. He's played his deck more than me, obviously. So, but he needs to get another Wabbit Fed down. Maybe he has one prize or something. Maybe he'll get one off this prize card. Also, he needs the energy, but I saw him draw several Psychic Energies in his hand, so he should be good on that part. We'll see what Blake does. He is debating. Either way, if when Blake knocks out this Dark card, the baby Yveltal is going to come up and knock out this Wobbuffet either way. So the Wobbuffet is going to go down next turn no matter what. Because Wobbuffet does have 110 HP. So, but Blake just wants to check all of his options before he does anything. Check Ken's Dusknoir file. Blake checks his discard pile again. Just double checking everything, what's all been played. Oops, sorry about that. I don't know how that showed up. So he does get the Diminish Valley, very nice. And knocks out the Dark Ice. So Blake takes his first 2 prizes of the game. Now it's all tied up 4-4. The thing is, Kent does have multiple EXs with 2 EXs with 60 damage on it, so that kind of gives. I feel like Blake might be in a better position, but Blake doesn't also have a Wobbuffet, which is kind of a big deal. I don't think Blake plays Mewtwo. I think he's more just like focused on Crobat and Wobbuffet, and that's it. I could be wrong, but here we see Kent play Chorus, as did Blake did last turn. Sorry, there's a chair in the background being moved and hurt my ears. Well, let's see. Kent already attached a Dark to the Yveltal EX on the bench. Maybe he's looking for a Hard Charm. I think Blake plays Headringers if I'm not mistaken, if I remember his deck correctly. So if Kent doesn't know that, well, either way, I think Kent would automatically just play down the Hard Charm if he had him in his hand. And there we see an Evil Ball and a Oblivion Wing doing 30 and putting a Dark Energy from this Dark Ball onto Yveltal EX. So Blake did get a Wobbuffet. Maybe he just top decked and maybe drew it off the prize. Not really sure to see where his hand was. Never see his Psychic Energy. Question is, does he have a Lysand or something? So Lysand even worth it. Alright, let's do. So there he evolves into Crobat, putting 30 on the Yveltal EX to getting his power up right now. There we see an Ultra Ball discarding a Psychic and Sycamore maybe? It's too hard to tell. So Blake gets his Golbat, just trying to put more damage out on the board while he can. Also, one thing to note, Blake does have all 4 Zubats in play, which is pretty nice. And he doesn't have all 4 Golbats. So his prizes are not that bad if he has all that stuff. There we see Golbat putting two more damage counters on that Yveltal EX. And a Chorus? Yeah, so Blake was into the Chorus. Getting 7 cards, because there's 4 bench Pokemon on his side, and 3 on Ken's side. I know I didn't explain what Chorus did. But let's see what happens. What is Blake? Blake probably needs like a super scoop up to start manually power up one of these, or start reusing one of the Golbat lines again. And hopefully he can flip heads. That's always the big question. Can you flip heads? There we see a Megaphone discarding the Heart Charm. So it's interesting to note that Blake does play 2 Megaphones, and there is the Headringer I was talking about earlier. It's not going to really matter that much. Ken's still going to be able to Evil Ball. But what I was saying, it's interesting to note that Blake does put 2 megaphones, whereas you see most people aren't playing any nowadays. Maybe he wants to try to make the most use out of the head ringers. So here we see his skill die putting 30 on that Yveltal. It's bringing up to 80. Blake is putting a lot of damage out, which is really nice. But Kenton does play multiple Verse Seekers to get the Pokemon Center Lady back too, so that'd be might be some options for Kenton. Let's see what Kenton decides to do. He's thinking. Kenton always looks like he has a poker face. Can't really tell what's going on. Kenton's knocking on his playback. He is saying, Pikachu, tell me what to do. Come on, Pikachu, help me out, buddy. If only the Pikachu Mac could talk to Kitten. He'd probably tell Kitten he's in a bad situation. Here we see a Lysander bringing up the Wobbuffet, trying to put some early damage on him, I guess. The only bad thing is, I don't think there's any real way that Kitten can knock out this Wobbuffet this turn. We'll see what he does. There we see a Dust Machine, discarding a Duskull and Dusknoir. Yeah. Because not Dusclops. Sorry, not Dusknoir. I always get my stages messed up. Sorry, I'm not that good at the Pokemon stuff. Guess this is a problem when you've only played the TCG. You don't really know all the Pokemon names. I forget what they are. I wonder what Ken's going to Dust Machine for. It looked like he counted his deck, so maybe he wants to decide to do a Juniper or not. He could also maybe go for Switch to retreat his Yveltal if he wants to do that. Kitten is thinking about the decision a lot. Now this best 2 out of 3 is 75 minutes, just like all the other ones. We try to give our players all the time they need to finish their games. I know some places only have like 50 or 60, but we like to make sure they can finish all their games out. But here we see Ken does get the Shadow Circle and attach the Dark Energy to the Yveltal, and we just enable it wing. So once again, just putting Sam Blake, you have to have another dimension value to even attack this turn. But we see another Head Ringer going onto the Yveltal EX. Like I said, still not that big of a deal because most of the time Ken's going to be using Evil Ball to attack. And there we see another Crobat putting 30 damage on the Yveltal EX. So right now Blake has 4 Crobat, 4 Golbat, and 4 Zubat in play. Here we see a Lysander trump card. For those who don't know, Lysander trump card, you shuffle your discard pile into your deck. So very nice. I guess this is the way how Blake abuses all his super scoop ups and everything. Now the only thing bad about Lysander trump card is when you get played and you're up and you have like a lot of prize cards taken, you get end. You obviously don't draw that many cards. Well, besides that, I think it's a really good card in Crobat Wobbuffet, just because you can get all your super scoop ups back. If your bats die, you can use that to get your bats back and your Wobbuffets and your energies. So just a nice resource user. The only bad thing is Blake's. I don't think he's gonna be able to attack this turn unless he has another Psychic Energy in hand that I don't know about. I think Blake tried to Psychic Soul and consider there's not even a dimension value in play. But here we see Darkness Blade. It doesn't do 100 damage to this Wobbuffet. It's pretty nice. But we see Tails. For those who don't know, Darkness Blade does 100 damage, and if Tails, you can't use that. You can't attack with Yveltal next turn. So on the Blake's turn, we see a discarded Ultra Ball, a Sycamore, and maybe an AZ. It's kind of hard to tell what the art is. But if I had to take a guess, I would say AZ. And here we see a Wobbuffet. Not really that useful. If I was Blake, I would try to set up the knockouts of the Crobat right now. Unless he can draw to a Lysander or something. But let's see. I imagine Blake has another Sycamore in hand. There we see Sycamore. So he had double Sycamore's hand. Very nice. It looked at first that he actually... It looked like he had discarded the wrong card at first. He was looking at his hand. Then at the discard pile, I was like, oh no, I discarded the wrong supporter. But luckily he did not do that. There we see a Dimension Valley. Very nice. Bump the Shadow Circle. And then this Crobat can't attack for free. And there's no way this Crobat can really get knocked out next turn either. Here we see a Scoop Up, Super Scoop Up. Can Blake flip heads? No, tails. So, for those who don't know, Super Scoop Up, flip a coin if heads, pick up a Pokemon play, and put it in your hand. And you get to keep everything attached to it. So if we were to hit heads, you'd probably go to Crobat with 60 on it. Now here's Blake going to Skill Dive for 30, putting on the Yveltal EX with 90 on it, bringing it to 120. That's Yveltal only need two more Skill Dives and they'll get knocked out. It doesn't seem like Ken has any supporters either. He's kind of just sit there thinking. Now he can't attack with the Yveltal this turn because he did flip tails. Ken's hitting his cards against the table. Maybe try to do magic trick and turn him into something he wants. Be careful, Ken might do some card tricks that way. So Zerosic. So Zerosic, you discard any special energy or tool in play. So he discards his own Headringer. And we see a pass from Ken. Once again, he can't really attack because he did the tails. Now on to Blake's turn, what does Blake have? Imagine he wants to get another Super Scoop Up. Or try to flip heads on a Super Scoop Up. So we see Psychic Energy go into the Wobbuffet. See a Dimension... I mean, not a Dimension Valley. A Verseeker. And he gets an AZ. And it picks up the Crobat on the bench. Just slap down the Zubat again. And imagine we see another Skill Dive from Blake, putting 30 damage on the Yveltal EX with 120 on it. Blake is debating his options right now. What do I do? Yeah, why not put the 30 on there? If Blake can get down a... well, he doesn't have to get down anything. He just can Skill Dive the Yveltal EX on the bench for knockout. I did see Ken drawn to a Psychic Pokemon, so not what he wanted to see. But here to see at 30 damage from the Yveltal. Ken's not really having anything right now, which is never good. Now Blake does have this Golbat. I imagine it goes onto the... Oh, because it already had 150. I'm dumb. I'm dumb, guys. It already had 150 on it, so the Golbat does knock it out. And imagine when Blake just starts setting up retreats the Golbat probably... Oh, here, can he flip heads on the Super Skip Up? He'll probably retreat this Crobat and start attacking on another one. No reason to give Ken a free prize without working for it. And they probably start stacking damage on the Yveltal with 80 on it already. There it is. I can go into the Wobbuffet. See an Ultra Ball, and then Chorus. Blake doesn't have any more Pokemon. He might have like another Wobbuffet or two in his deck, but there's no reason to really get it if you're just going to Chorus straight away, so that's what kind of just happened there. Let's see, what does Blake draw to? I think he does play 4 Super Scoop Ups, so he probably has 2 left in his deck. Question is, can he draw to him? Blake did draw to that Megaphone again. I imagine he'll probably just play it just thin his hand or thin his deck out some more. So yeah, there's the Megaphone. Not really that useful, but might as well, like I said, just thin your deck out if Kent does in you. Seriously, let's go dive. Go into the Yveltal. Bring it up to 111. But now all Blake needs now is a Crobat to put 30 on the Yveltal, bring it up to 140, and a skill dive once again to kill the Yveltal X. Seriously, it's computer search. Like I said, Blake gets a Crobat. It's pretty much good night from here. Not really sure what's happening. Oh, I don't know what's... Oh, so Blake just got a Lysander. He's going to Lysander up the bitch Wobbuffet because it does have 80 on it already. And once he licenses up with the Wobbuffet, he does 90, doing 170 total to knock it out. So there we see Blake win game 1. Ken kind of dead drew there, and Blake kind of had like everything in his, everything he needed to like set up perfectly. He had all 4 Crobats and Crobats and Zubats. Every time Ken had his Shadow Circle, Blake responded with the Dimension Valley. So kind of everything went in Blake's favor that game. But like I said, this is top 8. This is best 2 out of 3. So doesn't really matter that he won game 1. He's got to win at least one more to win this series. Will he win one more or not? That's the question. It's always the kind of bad thing when you lose game 1, because then you're on the if you lose game 1, you're like, man, I gotta win 2 more games to have a win. And when you win, you're like, oh yeah, if I win the next game, I advance to top 4. There we see they shuffled up pretty quickly, so that's nice. Getting mulligans shows Blake. It's hard to tell Blake mulligan or not. You see a bunch of purple cards in his hand. That's all like Crobat and look like a Crobat maybe. I know I saw Psychic Energy too. It's just hard when he plays all the purple cards in his deck. But we'll see what happens here. Blake does get an extra card off the mulligan, which is always nice. So you can start with the Yveltal. Blake start with the Wobbuffet. I guess they're both pretty much the supporters Pokemon you want to start with, but Kitten discards a lot of stuff turn 1. Let's see. Dusknoir maybe? I guess Kitten doesn't want to play Dusknoir this game. Try to jump for a much tough way. Let me see a pass from Kitten. Well, obviously a pass from Kitten, but not able to get a another Yveltal X or Darkrai play. It's kind of big. On Blake's turn, we see a Fan Club. Like I said, search your deck for 2 base Pokemon, put in your hand, get 2 Zubats. It's pretty nice. Turn 1. I wonder how many Fan Clubs Blake plays. He drew him pretty early both games. Obviously, this game was really early, so maybe he plays like 3, maybe 4. It's hard to tell because I didn't see any besides the 2 full he played. Maybe it was just 1 and he got really lucky both games. Whereas he doubles Zubat, he does have a Psychic Energy in his hand, but he puts on the bench a Wobbuffet. Maybe Blake's scared of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe thinks Ken plays like a secret DCE or something. Not DCE, Muscle Band, sorry, like that. Maybe Ken like a Muscle Band. DCE Energy switch, and knock out the Wobbuffet with a Muscle Band. If he attaches energy to active, so maybe Blake would just take a precaution. But there we see Kent just Juniper once again, just discarding a bunch of stuff real fast. But he does get an Yveltal X down, which is always pretty nice. Just have another attacker. Here we see a Bloodwing with 30. And put a Dark Energy from this card out onto his Yveltal X. Now to Blake's turn. Here we see a Fan Club. In both games, Blake started with Fan Club pretty early too. Always nice. So this time he gets 2 energies instead of 1. We saw the first game where he just got 1 because he was going to Juniper after that. Question is Blake supported draw this game? Here we see a Crobat put 20 on the Yveltal. Blake drops another Crobat, put another 20, bring the Yveltal EX up to 40. Here we see a Verse Seeker getting a fan club again. Really nice. Now Blake, if he has 2 more Zubats, he can get 2 more Zubats in play. Let's see, did he prize a Zubat or not? I imagine he wants 4 Zubat. No reason why not to have him. Once again, Blake likes to get his cards face down first. Surprise his opponent what he's going to get. So we see a Zubat and a Wildfat. I guess Blake sadly has a Zubat prize. That does tend to happen. You're going to have one of the pieces of the puzzle prized. That's why I was excited when he didn't prize any of the pieces game 1. Like, dang. There's a good chance that that happened. It didn't happen to y'all. We receive bench the Zubat and the Wobbuffet. The question is, where does he attach his energy at? I don't think he has a Dimension Valley in his hand. So imagine, would you see a pass? Okay. So no attachment to Psychic Energy's turn. I thought at least you attach it to the Wobbuffet on the far right with the no energies. But I guess I'd be wrong. Kinda wish he might would attach it to the active too, just so he can tackle that Wobbuffet next turn. I don't know. A lot of decisions. Blake's played this deck longer than me, so he knows what he's doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just thinking outside of the, just thinking outside of my brain. We see Kitten, Ultra Ball, discarding a Rare Candy and a shiny Rare Candy too. He needs to make sure Dusknoir is getting played in style. But we do see a Darkrai. Somebody give Kent some full art Darkrai's. Man, he's got full art Yveltal, he's got reverse everything. But no full art Darkrai's. Kent, you're lacking. What are you doing, man? Is that a non-reverse Shadow Triad? Kent likes to play in all blinged out cards, if you can't tell by now. So we see a Hard Charm going to the Darkrai. Kitten knows that Blake plays the Headringers now, which kind of makes a big difference in the Darkrai just because you have to attach one more energy to attack with it. Instead of 3, you'll need 4, which is kind of a big deal. But Ken's loading up that Yveltal. He is just going to start one-shotting stuff with it, I think. Let's see, what does Ken do? Imagine he just Oblivion Wings this turn. He can't really attack. Oh, he already Oblivion Winged. I'm behind. Sorry, guys. Let's see, Blake does have an Ultra Ball. And Blake has shiny Ultra Balls. I don't think Ken has shiny Ultra Balls. Ken, you're missing out. So let's see, Ultra Ball, discard a trump card, and a Psychic Energy. Not that big of a deal that he discards the trump card. I know Blake plays, I think he plays 4 Verse Seeker. The question is, does he want to Crobat or Crobat or Zubat? So he goes with Crobat. Put 20 on the Yveltal with all the energies on it. Now I've never seen a Megaphone discarding the Hard Charm, and we see Sycamore discarding a Lysander or something else. So Blake finally gets a say finally, I don't know if he finally got one or not, but he does get a Sycamore this turn. Let's see, does he get a let's see, a Psychic Energy going to Wobbuffet. Does he get a Crobat this turn is the question. No, he doesn't. So he's just going to Psychic Assault for 10. Since there's no damage on that Wobbuffet. So on the Ken's turn, we see a Dark Energy going to the Darkrai. Ken benches the 3rd Yveltal EX. And it's a Kitten wants to play in, but he's deciding, do I play this or not? What do I do? And we see him playing in. No reason not to. Blake did play supporter last turn, so he does have one. Maybe Ken wanted to draw more cards off this supporter. That's why he was debating. So they both get 6. Nobody's taking a knockout yet. See, Ken does draw into a hard charm again. Imagine going back on the Darkrai. Now, Ken drawn to a switch. That'd be real nice if he drawn to a switch. But here we just see another Blizzwing for 30. Put 90 on that Wobbuffet. Now, Blake can get like a Lysander and a Crobat. He can actually knock out the Yveltal with all the energies on it, which would be really, really nice. But we just see an N from Blake. There's me walking around. Wearing socks with flip-flops that day. Start trend, guys. You should wear socks with flip-flops. And not like Nike flip-flops I'm talking about, or sandals. I'm wearing some thong flip-flops, wearing socks, and that's what you do nowadays. Starting trends here. But let's see, what does Blake get off this N? Imagine he, well, it doesn't matter either way. That Yveltal bench is doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is going to knock out any Wobbuffet come into play. But we see a Golbat putting 30 on this Darkrai. And we see a Psychic Stolt for 20. The Golbat, not Golbat, the Yveltal is slowly dying. Here we see an Ultra Ball discarding a Dusknoir and an Ultra Ball from Ken. And we see another Darkrai. I know Ken doesn't play 4 Yveltal EX. That'd be crazy. So I'm 99% sure that is a Darkrai EX. Yeah, it's Darkrai EX. I see the full art now. Like I said, somebody wants to donate a full art Darkrai to Ken. Hook them up, guys. And there we see a Heart Charm and a Juniper discarding a Dark. So now this Blizzwing is going to power up a Darkrai. Ken will take the first knockout this game too, because the Yveltal's already at 90. I mean, the Wobbuffet's already at 90. And here, Blake sends up the Crobat. The good thing with Crobat is it doesn't seem like I can get one shot with the Wobbuffet. I mean, not Wobbuffet, the Yveltal, because right now the Yveltal's doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's only doing 100 right now, so it's not a knockout. We'll see Blake attach the Psychic Energy to the Wobbuffet. Question is, what is Blake going to do? I imagine Blake just wants a, not Psychic, so just Skill Die this turn. Just put 30 damage counters on a Yveltal EX or the Darkrai EX. The only bad thing about Blake is we know that Ken plays a Pokemon Center Lady, so anytime 60 damage can randomly be held off from Ken's side. Which kind of sets Blake back a turn or two. Let's see what Blake does. Super Scuba, does he hit heads? First one. Goes off the board, try it again, tails. I think Blake's like 2 for 5 on Super Scuba heads this game. Like I said, imagine Blake does just Skill Dive. So we see 30 going to the Yveltal EX. Now whenever wants to, Blake can just Lysander up and knock out the Yveltal EX. I'm trying to remember if Crobat goes through Hard Charm or not. I think I said it did, but it might not. Because it doesn't place damage counter, it does 30 damage. It doesn't say place 3 damage counters. So I think the Hard Charm prevents Blake from putting 3 damage counters with the Crobat. But I could be wrong. But if that's the wording on the Crobat, if it says does 30 damage to a Pokemon, don't apply weakness or resistance, it will apply the Hard Charm. Like I said, I could be wrong. But here we see Ken bringing up this big bad Darkrai. He will start setting up knockouts with this Darkrai, which is kind of how you want to play this matchup. As long as Blake keeps flipping tails on Super Scoop Up, your Night Spirit damage stays in play, which is always really nice. Here, so you can do 90 and 30 to Wobbuffet with 2 energies. Now this makes it where if Blake sends up the Wobbuffet, Kent can just Night Spirit for knockout. Here's the Scoop Up, Super Scoop Up, and it does flip tails. So the flips are not going Blake's way right now, but they are going Ken's way. Either way has a positive look. It depends on who you're rooting for. Here's the N from Blake. The good thing about Blake is he can retreat the Crobat and send up another Crobat if he can get another one in play or not. Just because it takes Ken 2 turns to knock out that Crobat if it goes to the bench. Because Crobat does have 130 HP. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty positive it has 30 HP. 130. Sorry about that. And Blake does get the Megaphone, discarding Kitten's Hard Charms. And here we see a computer search from Blake. Question is, what does Blake want to get? There we see a Head Ringer, put on the Darkrai, force a Kitten to have another Dark Energy to attack this turn. Now if Kitten were to start loading up the Darkrai on the far left of the DC, that wouldn't really matter because it already has a DC to compensate for the Head Ringer. Question is, what does Blake do this turn? Put 10 damage on the active. I keep putting 30 anyway. Did I miss last turn? Did Ken play a Pokemon Center and heal that Yveltal EX? Why does it only hit 30 now? Huh. I must have missed something. I thought the Yveltal EX had more damage on it. Did I look down and miss something? Dang you, Snapchat. Keeping me occupied. But here's he can't do Night Spirit, putting 90 and 30 to Wobbuffet to set up more Wobbuffet knockouts when he can. Here we see Sycamore discarding 2 Dimension Values. Which is kind of bad for Blake. But we know Blake does play the Lysander trump card, so he can get everything back whenever he wants to. Now the question is, does Blake get a Golbat? So there we see a Golbat bringing the Darkrai up to 40. Question is, does Blake have another Wobbuffet in his deck? That is the good question. If he has another Wobbuffet, he can prevent Ken from getting a knockout this turn coming up. Unless Ken retreats and attacks with the Yveltal EX on the bench. Here we see an Ultra Ball discarding a Fan Club and a Sycamore maybe. Here we see another Golbat bringing the Darkrai up to 70. Blake doesn't have many cards left in his deck, so he better play a Choke card here soon. He's going to deck himself out. I think Blake's realizing here that this Wobbuffet will get knocked out by this Darkrai. So Blake's going to take that gamble. He is going to do 6 in this turn. Oh, bring it up to 150? 130. Oh no, only 130. Sorry. Bad at math. Sorry guys. So it's up to 130, so well, either way, Blake doesn't have another Crobat, or not Crobat, a Golbat in place, so he can't evolve to Crobat next turn. So Blake's in pretty bad shape right now, if I do say so myself. I guess the good thing is he can snipe the Darkrai twice with 30 and knock it out. But I think Ken might have already won. Here we see an in from Kitten. Yeah, it looks like Blake might deck out with his in. We'll see. Maybe not. Hopefully not. It's never good to see a deck out. So okay, Blake doesn't get decked out, so that's good. So we see a knockout from Kitten. Doesn't matter who Blake sends up, everybody has to retreat. Except the Wobbuffet. What am I talking about? Doesn't matter what Crobat he sends in. They both have to retreat. We see Blake does have no Wobbuffet, attaches the psychic energy into it. Now Blake has a Verseeker. He needs a Verseeker for jump card this turn. Or maybe for AZ, either one might be nice. He basically needs to find another way to get Zubats down. So we see a Verseeker for the trump card. So once again, everything gets shuffled into your deck besides trump card. I don't think I said the first time around, but that's why trump card stays out. And even if Kitten plays trump card, his trump card stays out too. It's every card except trump card on both sides of the field. Now maybe Blake has a super scoop up in his hands or something to kind of get another Zubat down. We will see together what he has. It does not seem like it. Looks like Blake just might snipe the bench Darkrai for 30. I'm not really sure. Trying to tell whose shoes are who. Who is standing around watching this game right now? Somebody with blue Adidas. Maybe Jim Jones and John Carter? I don't know what shoes Jim Jones wearing. Well, here's skill dive. There's me with my flip flops. Heck yeah. So we see 30, put on the Darkrai EX, getting ready to knock out this Darkrai. Ooh, but Ken looks like he is ready to one-shot this Crobat. There's a Shadow Circle. One, two. Is that a DC? If that's a DC on, if that's two DCs and two Darks, that Yveltal can start one-shotting Crobats, which is bad news for Blake. This is why I think you need to at least play like one or two Mewtwo's in the deck, just so you can control these big Yveltals that eventually happen, or a big Mewtwo depending on what deck you're playing against. So we'll see. Like I said, Blake has played this deck more than me, so he knows what he's kind of doing. So the Darkrai does have free retreat because there is no Wobbuffet in active position. It is a Crobat. Yeah, so that is two DCs, two Darks, do 140, knocking out the Crobat. Blake's in a pretty bad position. He is going to get a knockout this turn, which is good. We see an in from Blake. Blake needs to get double Zubat down this turn. That is his only option right now. Even better to be like... Oh, he can't even do that. I was going to say if he can scoop up the Zubat, or the active Golbat, but that doesn't work either. So Blake needs two Zubats right now. That would be really helpful. We'll see what he has. Kent does only get two cards, but it's not really that bad because Kent can just keep one-shotting with this Yveltal. Now this Wobbuffet will do 40, bringing up the Yveltal to 70. But Blake did not get another Zubat down, so there's no way Blake can win next turn. Kind of curious as why Kent wants to retreat this Yveltal. Maybe put 90 and 30 damage on the other Wobbuffet just to set up another knockout. They're doing some hardcore math right now. I think Ken his play is to. Well, never mind. He's also into the hurt Darkrai. Alright, Ken never leaves hands off. Alright, but if Ken Night Spear, put 30 on the bench Wobbuffet. Basically he's saying, alright, I kinda win next turn unless you have another Wobbuffet. There we see a Megaphone from Blake. So me and Jim were making sure that we were kind of soft on the side, but we were making sure that Kent did discard the DC to retreat. Kent was like, I did. So blame Jim for that. Obviously, Blake needs to get another Wobbuffet down this turn. If he doesn't, it's kind of game over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so maybe Blake had stuff prized. I know we know for sure he had a Zubat prized. So that kind of does hurt having one of the 4 Zubats prized, just because you can't send multiple Zubats down. Bone to game 3. We saw Kent have a good setup that game 2. Load of Darkrai's and start going ham with the Darkrai's. Darkrai once again proven itself. It's still a good attacker. Still very useful, just besides the free retreat that it gives. Just 90-30, it's still really good. On to game 3, I imagine Blake wants to go first. I'm not sure if I said this earlier, but best 2 out of 3. Whoever loses decides to go first or second. We see Blake do a full shuffle this time. I don't think he did a full shuffle last time. Maybe Blake wants to make sure his cards aren't clumped together. He's not declumping, he's just shuffling his deck. So I don't want nobody go crazy about Blake. But, I don't know, it seems like Ken might have kind of the better advantage with the hard charms and the resistance with the Darkrai, just because you resist all the psychic Pokemon. But I don't know, like we saw in game 1, Blake does have the chance to win. So we'll see what happens. I'll take a drink of water quick. Here we see another mulligan from Ken. I think that was 4 ends in his hand. Can't say it. I don't need a table shuffle. I'm just gonna ruffle shuffle a couple times and call it a day. Ken doesn't really care. I think they both know that time is kind of important right now. I think it has to be a good minute. It's felt like a good couple minutes, but we'll see what happens. I guess it doesn't matter who Blake starts with. Ken can't really knock him out. By now, we know what Ken's deck is. We know he doesn't play any muscle bands. The only weird thing is that he plays Dusknoir. I'm sorry, Mia. I don't think we'll see Dusknoir get played this game. We might see the next game. I don't know. But we see a Psychic Energy go into the Wobbuffet. Blake didn't get any more Zubats down, which is kind of bad. Or play any supporters. Kitten says, you don't play any supporters? Alright, well I guess I'm going to discard my ends, so you don't have any supporters. We'll see Dark Energy going to Yveltal before he Juniper 2. So now Kitten next turn just needs energy to attack. And we see a pass from Kitten. Of course he can't attack turn 1. Well, Kitten could attack turn 1 theoretically, but not with the Yveltal EX. Question is, what does Blake do? So we see him have to touch energy to Wobbuffet, which kind of stinks. Doesn't seem like Blake has anything. There's a Dimension Valley. At least he can Psychic Sword for 10 on his first turn, or second turn. But he can't get Zubats down, which kind of stinks. One, two, three, So right now this Yveltal is going to do 100, and then on Blake's turn. We see a Crobat from Blake, bringing the Yveltal up to 100 or 30. Now this needs little pads. Alright, very nice. So the Wi-Fi does stay a turn. And sorry, the Yveltal's not to 100, it's to 30. Sorry about that. But the heads kind of saved Blake from having that Wi-Fi knocked out. Free retreat Crobat, and now do 40. Bring the Wi-Fi, no Wi-Fi. Yveltal is 70. Now we see that this Evil Ball is going to knock out this Wobbuffet and put Blake in a weird situation. But if Blake can top deck a Juniper and then like Crobat Wobbuffet energy, he can knock out the Yveltal EX. Hopefully Blake can draw a Pokemon. Give us Pokemon. There's a Crobat. And here we see an end. How long was Blake holding to the end? Because it seemed like he just topped like the Crobat. Maybe not. Maybe he topped at the end and I saw him play the cards wrong. I don't know. Couldn't really see his hand, like I said earlier. Like I said, if Blake does get a Wobbuffet and a Psychic Energy, he can knock out this Yveltal and send Kent back to like turn 1. We'll see what happens. Can Blake hit a Wobbuffet and an energy? Does get 6 cards. He does at least get another Pokemon down. I see a Zubat in his hand. Maybe, is that a Zubat? Oh, maybe it's not. Okay, it has Zubat. Looks like you got a double Zubat. Oh no. We definitely don't see a Wobbuffet coming down right now. Maybe he has an Ultra Ball and he's deciding. Doesn't seem like it. So you see the skill die, put 30 on the Darkrai. Here's the Pokemon Senility. Ouch! That always stinks. Healing at 60 damage just kind of messes Blake's math up all the way. Kid did have a DC, he could knock out this Crobat, but we just see 100 from the Yveltal. Still not bad. Crobat putting the Yveltal up to 60. See a Wobbuffet. See Super Scoop Up. Can Blake get lucky again? Oh, heads. So saving the Crobat really nice. He can bench down the Zubat. Question is, who does Blake attack with this turn? Well, we see an Ultra Ball. Let's just discard some purple cards. That was 2 bats, I think. Let's see if Ken can give us a better look. Ken, you didn't help us get a better look. What are you doing? I know for sure it was 2 purple cards. Like I said, not that kind of big deal. Blake does play trump card. Here we see another Zubat from Blake. Question is, will Blake use Crobat's first attack or retreat and send up a sacrificial Zubat this turn? Or will he attack with Crobat and send a sacrificial Zubat? Zubat actually has a first attack, that one does, for a colorless. Not sure what it does. We might see what it does this game. Here we see a Sycamore. So I think Blake discarded 3 bats that turn. Not really sure what he's looking for. So here, Wobbuffet go in, Psychic Energy, and he's going to do 70, bringing up the Yveltal to 130. So, I thought Ken was just going to, I can grab the Pokemon Center Lady. Oh, Ken discards a lot of stuff. Ken's like, I don't need any of this supporters. I need energies. Give me energies, Pokemans. And a Shadow Circle. Shadow Circle would be nice also. Ken, you are knocking out the Yveltal. I mean, that Crobat with the Yveltal. No worries. You're doing 120 right now. So we'll see what happens. What does Ken want to do? Looks like he's debating some stuff in his hand. Attach Yveltal. Attach energy to the Yveltal. Why not take a knockout this turn? Go up 2 prizes, and if Blake somehow does knock you out, you do have a 4/4. Also, Advance is sending me a Snapchat right now. Alright, so what is Blake doing right now? Okay, he can get another Wobbuffet down this turn. That'd be really nice. Question is, does he have one left in his deck? And there we do see one. So very nice. He can knock out this Yveltal EX. So it'd be really nice. And let's see, once Blake knocks out this Yveltal, it's always weird because you never you don't know where to put this damage counters out because Ken doesn't really have energies on any other Pokemon. So it's always hard to predict who Ken's gonna power. But I guess might as well put the start stacking up damage on the Dusknoir EX with 3 damage counters on it already. Why not? He does have a Head Ringer. I would Head Ringer the Dusknoir without any damage on it. That's just me talking though. Looks like he's just gonna Ultra Ball it away, maybe. Can't tell what's going on right now. Question is, did Blake discard too many Golbats and Crobats early enough? Because if he did that, he'll be in a bad situation too. Let's see, there's Ultra Ball discarding Dimension Valley and a Psychic Energy. Imagine he wants to go for a Golbat and or a Crobat. If I was him, I'd go for a Golbat. He does go for the Crobat. Put a 30 on the Dusknoir with already damage. I agree with that play. Why, you already have damage on it, so why not try to get a knockout with the Lysander with it later? You can. Keep saying why not, and he's playing Wobbuffet, which why not? It's Wobbuffet's baby Pokemon. What a coinkydink. Here we see Hitter going to the Dusknoir EX with no damage on it. I like that play a lot. So Blake's doing everything I think perfectly right now. And here we just see a Psychic Assault for 10. Or nothing? I'm confused. Did Blake just pass? I'm not sure what just happened. Maybe I missed something, I don't know. We'll see Ken discard the in Jaminet with Ultra Ball. Can't play any of those Jaminets because Blake doesn't play any EXs. So, but Ken doesn't get anything with his Ultra Ball. Or maybe he got an Yveltal EX and I missed it. I think it's what he might have gotten on the Yveltal EX. And then see a course. Okay. Drawn 7 total. Kid already touched Dark Energy to the Yveltal EX on the bench. But we'll probably just see Nebula Wing put a 30 damage. I mean, he obviously put 30 damage on the Yveltal. I mean, he will put 30 damage on the Wobbuffet, but then probably put the Dark Energy on the Yveltal with the now the Hard Charm and the Dark Energy. This is a pretty close game though, pretty good. So let's see, what does Blake have? Like I said earlier, did Blake just card too many Crobats and Zubats early in the game? Might come out and bite him. I know time has to be close to be called soon. But I could be wrong. Maybe they have a lot of time, right? I just think there's not a lot of time. Maybe see an Ultra Ball from Blake discarding something and a second injury. Maybe a Crobat. Okay, I see a Golbat in his deck, so that's nice. probably puts 2 damage guns on the Yveltal with the energy on it. And then we see an end for Blake. Now Blake can hit a super scuba, that'd be pretty nice too, just to pick up the Crobat and start redoing damage and stuff. But we'll see what happens. But it doesn't seem like Blake got a super scoop up. I see Megaphone. I can't tell what the other cards are. But now we see a Psychic Soul for 10. I'm not really sure what happened the first time around. Here's a switch from Kitten. Kitten has 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now he's doing 80, which will knock out this Wobbuffet. See a Hardsharm going to the Yveltal EX. Let's see. Ken plays Verse Seeker, probably for Juniper. Yeah, sorry. Let's talk to people. Dang Snapchat. Keep me not keep me occupied, but messing me up. We see DC going to the Yveltal EX. This Yveltal EX is going to start taking names. Man, but with this big Yveltal, Kitten does a base 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a base 100. So Kitten is up 3 prizes, up to a prize right now. Question is, can Blake find a way to knock out this Yveltal this turn? Is the question. See a Lysander's hand. I don't think he wants a Lysander, though. So see a Verse Seeker. What does he want to get? So he gets the end, but he doesn't want to play it straight away. He says, hold on a second, Ken. See a letter. Which I kind of don't like that play, because if Blake needs energy and he can't find one, I don't know. What does Blake need this turn? If he gets a Crobat and a Crobat that's 50, put it into 70. Wobbuffet then does 80. Not a knockout. But does Blake have any of these cards anyway? It's a question. What does Blake have left? I see a Computer Search in his hand right now. Maybe it was a Computer Search for a Super Scoop Up. I think he's already played 3, maybe? I could be wrong with my counts. It discards a Lysander and something else. Well, yeah, okay, I was just say we haven't seen Blake Lysander once, but we did see him Lysander once. He did Lysander but darker and try to stall. But here we see he gets a Crobat. Question is, where does this 30 go to? I'm not even sure where this 30 goes to. Just puts it active, bring it up to 50. We might see a skill die for 30, bringing the Yveltal EX up to 80. Next turn, if Blake can get a Wobbuffet energy, he can knock out this Yveltal EX. Never mind, not even over the Hard Charm. That dang Hard Charm. We see a Juniper from Kenton. So So Ken kind of got a good 3-4 cards. So let's see what happens here. Right now that Yveltal doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 80 right now. Not a lot of damage, but it does matter. Ken doesn't get anything with this Ultra Ball. Just kind of wants to thin him out from his deck. Question is, does Blake have any Super Scoop Ups left? Maybe see Kent just retreat. He's gonna save his Yveltal X and just. So time has just been called. So Blake is now turn 1, just like we saw before, and best 2 out of 3 whoever's up at the end of 3 wins. So see Blake discard a Sycamore and a Sycamore with discard a Sycamore with a Sycamore. Let's see. Blake needs to hit a lot of stuff to win next turn. So see, he does get the Dimension Valley in play. Then we see a Wobbuffet. What does Blake need to win? He can Skill Dive. That Hard Charm's messing up everything. Okay, he can Skill Dive, put 10 on the Yveltal, bring it up to 90. And then next turn, Lysander, Psychic Energy, and knock out the Yveltal X. That's one way to go around it. I think that's the best play he has. But we'll see what happens. Maybe Blake has a better option that I don't know about. Like I said, I think Blake's best option is to put damage on the Yveltal X, and then next turn try to get the Lysander Energy and knock out the Yveltal X. But that's still pretty hard. If Ken does take a knockout next turn, and then Blake has that exact combo, it'll go to like this next prize wins kind of situation. But Blake does. That's kind of different. Now he's forcing Kent to have like a energy switch kind of thing. So there's the energy switch. Put on the active. Well, there's DC, so right now it does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh. There's the Juniper from Ken. Did Ken have a Lysander left? I don't think he did. It looks like Ken might win this series. Unless Blake has another Wobbuffet DC. Even after that, the Yveltal X just kills him and the next prize wins. So did Blake have a Lysander in his hand? That's the only question. Well, I guess now Lysander and Dimension Valley. But like I said, it doesn't really matter because so he did have the Verse Seeker. So it looks like Ken is going to advance to top 4. Blake didn't really have that good of setup in Game 3 or in Game 2 either, if I remember correctly. No, he had okay setup Game 2. He just has that prize Zubat. Not really sure how many Zubats he had prizes this time. He didn't get the fan club early enough. But sadly, it looks like Crobat does take a loss here. But thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe. Hopefully, I'll have top 4 and the finals up as soon, straight up after these this top 8. But if you have any suggestions or anything, please leave them down below. And thanks for watching, and have a great day. Alrighty, bye.